Chapter 4 Writ in the Nick of Time. Before us is a group of 4 jail cells, approximately 7 feet high by 8 feet wide by 8 feet long. There are 2 cells on each side of a short walkway, each separated from adjacent cells by a thick wall. They seem to be furnished with a bed, a sink, and a toilet. In each corner of the jail is a camera, and all around the jail are other devices that seem to be aimed at the walls, ceiling, and floor. I look at them but say nothing about them at the moment. We are dragged in and put in separate adjoining cells, the chains and fetters removed, then the doors shut with a clang. Rusty, grabbing the bars that make up the doors, calls out,
"How long are we to be kept in here?" "Until we can figure out whether you have compromised the knowledge of our existence or not. As for the Time Lords, we're not sure what to do with them as we're aware of their regeneration ability. And though you're just from Earth, you're associated with them, so you just have to share his fate, whatever it may be." "Gee, thanks ever so much,"
Rusty drawls, his voice dripping with sarcasm. While they are talking, I examine the devices more clearly. Cameras for surveillance, I see. And is that a Byterian multicellular frequency oscillator? Swo's eyes widen, then looks back at me.
"You can tell that just by looking at them."
He looks over at Rusty, who snorts and shrugs.
"Don't ask me. I've been with him for a few months and I still haven't figured him fully out. I don't even know what this bipartisan multicellular whatchamacallit is."
Byterian, not bipartisan, Rusty. Svo turns his attention to me with a hint of admiration, leans against the wall with arms crossed.
"Since there's no way of escape, I don't see how knowing the info can hurt. What you call teleportation, we refer to as phasing. We can become intangible for about 10 minutes. While in void space and intangible, near instantaneous movement is possible practically for any distance. This Byterian multicellular frequency oscillator is something we acquired in one of our raids. It interferes with our ability to phase, which prevents us from instantaneous travel. With this being a jail, we can't have our prisoners just vanish. Now, if you're finished with your interrogation, I have other matters to attend to. I'll send an attendant along shortly with some food and water in a bit."
He turns and walks away. Well, I'll have some steak, medium well, with potatoes and green beans. My voice trails off as Svo vanishes from sight. Well, that was terribly rude. Didn't get the rest of my order, or yours for that matter of fact. Well, I thought it was rude, didn't you? Rusty examines the cell with his discerning eyes, but sees nothing to catch his attention. There were no windows, this being far underground. He finally sits down on the bed.
"Doctor, how can you be so upbeat in a time like this? We're stuck on a planet in the middle of literally nowhere, and in no time, and in jail for who knows how long."
Well, when you've lived as long as I have, you learn to take each moment as it comes. Sometimes it's best not to contemplate on all the negatives and just think on the positives.
"And the positives would be?"
Well, we're still alive. They haven't executed us. I decide not to mention the sonic screwdrivers. I realize we're being monitored.
"Not yet. That may still happen if they decide we're a threat to the knowledge of their existence."
But we're still alive for now, and we get food and water. I just hope they make good steaks here. I hate it when they overcook my steak.
"Do you really think we'll ever get out of here?"
Well, I've been in impossible situations before, and I'm still here. While we are bantering, I look at the glance at the camera and see the red ready light blink off, then a few seconds later blink on, only this time the light turns blue. Then a rather rough voice comes through the speaker on the camera.
"So, you were the poor suckers that got locked up in here, huh?"
Wait, who said that? I call out.
"Hey friend, I've managed to take over the cameras and loop the recorded film for a bit. The guards shouldn't catch on for a while. Right now I'm trying to find a way of getting you out, but I can't get in with those oscillators still working."
Well, I might be able to do something about that, I reply. Knowing that our captors won't notice, I pull out my sonic screwdriver. In my pocket, aim at one of the oscillators. Push a button, and a hum erupts from it as the tip grows bright green. Nothing happens to the device.
How did they miss that when they frisked you?
Rusty inquires. The coat uses Time Lord technology, Rusty. Pockets are bigger on the inside than the outside. Keep trying different settings. The oscillator sparks and shorts out. Then I aim it towards the others, and each of them give off a warning bzzz. How's that for irony? My frequency oscillators oscillating the frequency oscillators.
What?
Rusty rolls his eyes and say,
It's okay. It's what I just usually nod and agree with him whenever he tells me one of his jokes.
As soon as the last oscillator finishes, another Cheshire appears in the space between cells and looks around before spying us. He, at least I assumed it was male, stands about 6.5 feet tall, had a slim athletic build, and was wearing a red shirt and black pants and sort of a trench coat. He has brown fur with black stripes on his tail and ears, and a serious no-nonsense expression on his face. One thing to distinguish him from the other Cheshires was the shape of his ears, which were slightly curled rather than pointing straight up. We both sat up as the appearance registered on us. Ah, are you the one that was talking to us a while ago?
Yes, I am. I'm here to get you out.
Well, thank you. You mind telling us who you are?
I'm Rit Sanis, songs for first class, second tier, and I qualify as meddler fourth class, seventh tier for the clandestine branch of the military. And you two are?
Ah, yes, forgive my manners. I'm Murphy Slaw, also known as the Doctor. My equine friend here is Rusty Clydesdale.
Well, Linda told me that two strangers had been incarcerated here, but I didn't believe her at first.
And this Linda is your friend, mate, companion?
She is a computer, actually. LINDA stands for Linear Integrated Neural Diode Assimilator.
You named your computer Linda? What kind of name is that? Rit's eyes narrowed to very dangerous slits.
A name I picked out for her. I got it from some science fiction literature. You have a problem with that?
I smiled innocently. Oh no, it's a very nice name. I like it. Just doesn't seem very Cheshirous or Cheshirese, whatever the adjective for it is for Cheshires. Seems more Earth-like.
Earth? You're from Earth? No, I'm from Earth. He's from Gallifrey.
He points one hoof at me. Rit looks back and forth at us for a bit.
Well, I have more questions, but right now we need to get you out of these cells and out of the jail. I can help you with the second part, but the first part may take some time.
Actually, it won't take any time at all. I say and use a sonic screwdriver on my cell lock, and it clicks. Then I push the cell door open and it creaks as it squeaks outward. Piece of cake. Afterward, I go and repeat the procedure to Rusty's cell. Now that I've done the first part, how about you plan on doing the second?
Well, I have a plan that just might work. Might work? You're sounding just like the doctor.
Don't listen to Rusty. We're working on his lack of faith in my abilities. What is your plan, Rit?
I've never done this before, but I believe if I can hold on to you and phase out, then you should phase with me. Then I transport you to my ship on the splintered side of the planet.
Sounds feasible to me. Besides, what choice do we have? We're ready when you are.
Very well then.
He grabs each of our arms, concentrates, and I look around. Everything starts to go fuzzy, then fade into darkness. Then darkness overtakes both of us and we pass out from the transport.